It's today's leadoff question with Dani Yaghmour of St. Mary's Colgan Golf. Danny, what's the best game or round of golf that you've seen in person in your high school career?
The best round that I personally watched or been in has been the 2024 321A Girls State Golf Championship.
At that time, did you realize like, hey, this is amazing, like this is some really good golf?
I always knew like going into a state championship, like all of it's going to be amazing, but I didn't realize how close it was during the round. So definitely was struck by the end of it.
Any individual plays either from yourself or from, teammates or people that you're watching that you're just like, wow, that was an amazing shot?
At the end, coming in, Ava was the very last one to come in, Ava Skripsik, and she ended up stressful. I think she knew what was on the line coming in the last hole, so definitely she came in and helped our team out there.
How do you go about personally, individually, I guess, preparing yourself mentally for something like that going into state?
The nice thing about our school is we have our faith to back us up. So our teammates are always there, of course, to be our support, but we also always pray before our rounds, and that also just makes me feel at peace.
What was the initial reaction following that round?
I think it was just pure shock, honestly. We were all so excited, but we didn't really know what was going to happen just because its rounds have never really ended in a tie. It's a 2-day golf tournament, so normally you don't end in a tie with four players.
That's Dani Yaghmour with St. Mary's Colgan Golf. It's today's leadoff question with Kim Rolfs, the volleyball coach at Little River. Coach Rolfs, what's the best game or match that you have seen in person in your high school career?
Okay, I would have to say it was a game that I actually coached. Um, you coaching a game is very intense, and the best game I think that I've seen us play as far as competition would have been against Halstead last year. We went 3 sets. First set score was 31-33. We did not come out on top. Lots of long rallies. Very, very competitive. Second set, we ended up taking, which I was super proud of my girls for that, simply because when you lose in such a overtime volleyball match, sometimes kids can get really down and have a hard time winning that second one. But we did end up winning that second one. And then the battle continued in the third set, which we couldn't come on top. We couldn't put enough plays together. But that was a very, very intense match against Halstead.
Any specific plays that stand out to you about that match?
There were several very, very long rallies. When kids get blocks on kills and then they dig them up and then, we're diving after balls, making those rallies very, very long. There isn't really one specific play that really comes to mind. It was the entire match that was pretty competitive.
Immediately after that match was over, did you kind of have a feeling, okay, hey, yeah, that was probably one of the better matches that I've seen or coached in?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, for this particular team, I think it was our turning point. The feeling that, hey, we can compete at a very, very high level. It isn't just a one play rally, very, very long rallies. We put some really good plays together. And so I think that was a turning point for us.
That's Kim Rolfs, Little River High School volleyball coach.